Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eso, this is EsoTarot, and in today's reading, we're actually doing something completely different than I was planning on doing, because as I was setting up, I heard in my head, why did they do that? Why did they do that? And then I heard that vine of that preacher going, why? And I'm like, damn, I don't know, we gotta do a reading about it. So today we are going to be looking at why did they do that? And they can be anyone, and that, in terms of what they're doing, could be anything. So I have no clue what's gonna come through here. I'm just leaving it up to the great universe that delivered me the call to do this reading today. So what we are going to do is we're going to start with an energy check to make sure that you find the right reading, and we're going to start with who this person is and what they did, so you'll know whether or not you're getting actual insight into why they did what they did. And so if that first part doesn't resonate, I would pick a different group. If you don't find a message here in any of the groups, there probably is not one for you, or maybe you're not meant to know, or maybe you already know deep down. But if the first part, the who this part, sounds kind of like you, just take that as mirroring, or take that as someone that is very similar to you. Or maybe it is about yourself. I don't know. And then you get to hear that. But I'm not bracing for positivity or negativity. I'm literally leaving room for any situation, any action, any person. Just keep it fun. Let's see what happens. So after that, once we know it's your reading, we'll look at why. Why did they do what they did? We'll look at why, and then we're just going to finish off with some guidance for you. So I'm excited to do this reading today. I think it's going to be interesting. So we have 3 different groups for you to choose from. So starting with group number 1, we are going to be using the Penelope's Tarot, and I have this aquamarine 9 tails fox on top. And then for group number 2, we have the Forest Spirit Imprint Tarot, and I have this Rose Quartz Rose on top. And then finally for group number 3, we have the Brit's Third Eye Tarot, and I have this Rainbow Clear Quartz on top. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. Since we have an energy check, if you really are unsure, you can just watch the first parts of all 3. That'll give you an idea of what's going to be discussed. But for those of you that would like a little extra help and a little extra confirmation, I am going to shuffle some cards to see who the groups might be for. If you're drawn to a group, but the card that comes through doesn't really resonate for you, I would still check that group anyway. It's possible that card was there for those who weren't sure if the group was for them or not. Trust the energy check more than this part, but this is really for those of you that overthink a lot. And I would love it if you left me a like in gratitude for that. I think of you guys, my overthinkers. Okay, for those that would benefit from seeing group 1, what signs, syncs, messages, anything does group 1 dreams? Okay, so you could have had a dream about this person. I can never say their name accurately. Eurythmics? I'm trying to say like anemone. Well, Finding Nemo could be significant because I can't say eurythmics. I'm probably saying that wrong. I can't say an anemone though. I maybe. So clownfish, anemones, Finding Nemo, Pixar movies, that could be significant. We also have the numbers 21 and 6. So you and this person could be 6 years apart. One or both of you could be 21. The year 2021 could be significant. You know, the reason why, the eurythmic things, the song Sweet Dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? That song can be significant. Also this pale lavender color, which is like literally my favorite color in the whole world. I love this color so much. Like I feel like if I was a color, I think I would be this color. So that's not relevant to your reading, but I just cannot hide my passion and love for this color. I lost my train of thought. Trains could be significant. June 21st could be significant. February 16th or December, or not December, well, maybe, I guess December 26th or January 26th could be significant. 212 by Azalea Banks. Anything else? Grapes. And the color purple, like I believe it's a movie and a book, could be significant. Okay, group number 2. What signs, symbols, and syncs are relevant for those for group number 2? We have expression. So interstates, like I'm hearing like I-75. Also Fetty Wap. I mean, I'm like trying to think of the song names. I'm like literally the only songs I can think of are the 2 most popular. 679, so the number 679. Also Trap Queen. That's the song. Man, that's a blast from the past. The color blue. You could be near a body of water, or this person could live near a body of water. Maybe you talked to this person recently, or this person reached out to you, or maybe you feel an urge to express something to this person, maybe after they did something, I don't know. May 17th could be significant. July 15th could be significant. I just thought in my head January 75th, which is not a thing. But 1975 could be significant, the band or the year. 517, 715, those could be area codes. Any of these numbers repeating. Also the clothing store Express. The Polar Express, like the movie. That's a book too, I think. You know, I'm also just the letter E, and like FedEx, like shipping, packaging could be significant. And clear blue skies, like skies so blue and clear, like there is not a cloud in them, could be significant. All right, group number 3. I'm gonna find it. What signs, symbols? Okay, well, for group 3, that wanted to come out, and this is very clear, especially considering it's coming out reversed, and I didn't plan to have reversals in here, and it's 24/7, and it says present. So I feel like this is someone that is not in your life anymore, but is constantly on your mind, or you're not in their life you're not in their life, but they constantly think about you and you pick up on it. Or you could be asking about someone who was at one point a constant presence in your life that isn't anymore. Maybe you're trying to, I love how this like matches so perfectly. I love that. I can't get over that. Magenta, I'm thinking of Blue's Clues, like the show Blue's Clues. And like the magenta, like Blue's Girl Magenta. Are they dogs? I think they're dogs. I don't know. Everything like to me as a child was just an amorphous blob, because they were all so bright colored and not very human looking that, oh my god. Blue's Clues walked so Bluey could run. I love that. Blue dogs everywhere. So blue dogs could be significant. The movie Billy Madison, because blue dogs made me think of blue duck. The name's Billy, or the name Madison. That's me. Or you. Shout out to all the Madisons. Or the Tom Hanks movie Splash. Every Madison you know is named Madison because of that movie. check the census records if you don't believe me. He literally says to Daryl Hannah, Madison, that's not a name. It is now. Tom Hanks movies in general could be significant. That could be something. Also, February 4th, February 7th, July 24th, April 27th, uh, 1947 could be significant as well. And just this color, like fruit, and like raspberry, not raspberry, blackberry or raspberry flavored things seem to be like coming out a lot, and like specifically like a mixture of blackberry and raspberry. You know how like when blackberries get crushed up, they have more of like this color on after they're crushed up. Like crushed up blackberries is this kind of a vibe that I'm getting. And there's like another specific berry that I can't think of, but the name Berry could be significant. I used to have a teddy bear actually that was named Berry, but it was not Beary, it was Berry, like a berry. I was a real Einstein. So something like things could be a little bit different or just a little bit quirky with this situation or with this person. But also just like the phrase on my mind 24/7, and like that 24/7 thing is just really getting to me. Also 7-Eleven gas stations could be significant. Okay, that is my little pile picking help portion. It's intro squad time. What is something that you reminisce on and are like, oh, they don't make that like they used to anymore, or you know, that was something special, we really had something special there? And / or you can answer both these questions if you want to. What is something that we have now that is so much better than what we had before? I'll do both. My they don't make it like they used to is definitely The Sims. They're like some of my formative years. Like there's no heaven. There was no heaven for me. Like waking up as a 10-year-old and finding out it's not only a snow day, but now I can sit on my desktop and play Sims 1 all day. They would all die very quickly, but I would have just such a good time. And man, that didn't stop me from starting over and just doing it all again. Like, man, that was just such a good feeling. And like Sims 1, it was really so much fun. Sims 2, so good. Like those two, so good. In some ways, yes, Sims 3 was like peak in some ways, but I think the first two, they're just excellent. Sims 4 is a disgusting corpse that I don't want to talk about. But what we have now, that's so much better than before. I had it and then I lost it. Oh, yes. The fact that dietary restrictions are accommodated so much better than they used to be. Like, growing up in the Midwest as someone who did not like meat, it would have, like, people looked at you and treated you like you were some weird, disgusting being that, like people's souls would leave their bodies when they're like, what do you mean you don't eat meat? Like, I got bullied into eating meat, essentially, because people were just so unaccommodating and like, you need to eat it. And now I'm like, I really wish I would have just stuck to my guns. But honestly, if anyone else the way that like people are so much more like restaurants and people are so much more understanding and accommodating of like dietary needs and food restrictions, like, God bless for that. Thank God for that. Like, it is so much easier to live in this world and eat the way you want to than it was. Well, when it comes to like being out in the world, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you can eat the way, hopefully. I couldn't, because I was a kid and I couldn't leave the table until I ate my shit. You know how that goes. Yeah, it's just super great. It's super great that you're not treated like a social pariah for not eating meat anymore. And I love that there are so many more vegetarian and vegan options for people. I just think that that is neat, and I like that, and I think that's a good improvement. So let me know what's something they don't make like they used to, and what's something you're really grateful to have now. I would love to hear it. But with that being said, intro squad, that is where I'm going to leave this intro. We gotta get into the reading now. I cannot believe sometimes how much, God bless, I put so much effort and energy into these intros because you guys actually watch them. So leave me a purple or a pink heart or a blue heart. It doesn't have to represent which group you pick, but just a purple, pink, or blue heart. Oh, happy Pride Month, by the way. Yeah. Let me know that, like, it blows my mind that you guys watch my intros. Like, you guys are so special. You all get gold stars and, like, an extra forehead kiss. I love you. Okay. Thank you for being here. Let's get into your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Aquamarine Fox and Penelope's Tarot, this is going to be your reading on why did the person you're asking about do what they do. So to check and see if this reading is yours, we are going to see who this person is and what they did. So to start, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. We have the Dolphin upright. And we have Door to Romance in reverse. And then for what did they do, we have the Star in reverse. We have the Gallery of those who came before. And we have Rescue in reverse. Okay, well, this definitely seems like somebody who means a lot to you, and I think that they've expressed that you mean a lot to them, or you did at one point mean a lot to each other. This seems like a situation where the person you're asking about withdrew their energy, or lost hope or lost faith in a future that maybe you guys were trying to build together. I definitely feel like there's this aspect of fantasy and reality to contend with. I feel like whoever this is, though, this is someone, like, it doesn't have to be a romantic interest, but this is definitely someone that you would consider, like, oh, like, that's my person, like, that's who I go to. Like, you could have been each other's go-tos at one point. Like, you could have been, like, really close friends, or, like, seen each other as family, or been in, like, a really significant relationship with them, or maybe not a committed relationship, but, like, the bond was there. I can see that this person is definitely somebody who underestimates themselves. And I think one big thing, I could definitely see why you're curious about this person withdrawing their energy, because it definitely seems like the vibes when you guys were together were very healing. It seems like this person doesn't necessarily see their worth or their value. Like, they definitely underestimate themselves, and they definitely struggle with insecurities and self-esteem issues. And it definitely seems like this person pulled away from a shared vision of the future. And it looks like some of the why is in here. It looks like that it's due to insecurity and self-esteem issues, and also comparison, feelings of unworthiness, feelings of inadequacy, not feeling successful. But let's actually go ahead and dive a lot more deeply into this and see why this person withdrew their energy, why they disappeared. And here's the thing too, I don't know how this happened for some of you. Maybe this person disappeared, or maybe they've been silent, or maybe they've been disconnected, or maybe this was a past situation where things just fizzled out and it was like, you know, I thought we really had a vibe going, like, what happened? Or maybe this person, like, they could have done something like, for some of you, maybe this person was building a future with you that they didn't plan on making real, or I don't know. I don't want to say that because I don't know for sure. Let's just look at the whys. Definitely, though, it seems like whatever vision of the future you had related to this person, they have done something to deter that, and it looks like they have done something that has made you lose faith in the connection, or lose faith in the idea that you have a future together. Maybe they weren't there for you when you needed them to be, or maybe you thought that things would just be different, and they were different than how you pictured it. But if you did reach the energy check and I was accurate enough for you to know that it's your reading, maybe you should give me a like. You know, throw a dog a bone. Woof woof. You don't have to, though. Just grateful you're here, so thank you to everyone who does that. But okay, so why did this person do what they did to group number 1? We have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the World upright. Why did this person do what they did to group 1, please? We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Why did they do what they did? We have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. And on the back of the deck, we have the 2 of Wands in reverse. Okay, you're not going to like what I have to say, but you're going to have to hear it because it is the truth. Like, you are unfortunately too bad. I mean, bad in an endearing way, not bad in a good way, for this person right now. Like, they literally withdrew their energy because the person that they feel that they needed to be in order to step into this situation, they feel like they don't have access to, or they feel like they can't be that yet. This person is definitely catastrophizing. And one thing that I see about them is that they definitely compared themselves to you a lot, and they felt really insecure being around you. With the 9 of Pentacles being here and also the Queen of Wands, it tells me not only are you very attractive, but also very magnetic. You don't have to be a woman by any means, but the 9 of Pentacles is definitely a card of financial security. It's a card of having plenty. It's a card of generosity as well. One reason, if you were in a dynamic where you were giving a lot to this person, or maybe even like overextending yourself to make this situation work, I feel like maybe one reason why this person pulled back is because, number one, I think maybe it was hard for their ego to receive. Like, it seems like their connection to you was eroding because they couldn't get out of their own way. It's like they felt the same things that you did, but their self-loathing and their own insecurities and where they feel they're not at come before intimacy and connection. This person has a really set idea of how the world works, and that's why they're kind of stuck, if I'm being honest. Like, with the World card being here and knowing that the world is connected to fixed energies, I don't think this person felt secure in your connection, and I think they felt like they don't have anything to offer you, and the world has so much to offer you. And I feel like, also, I feel like they could see from the world around you, oh my fucking God, this gnat, okay? It keeps flying in here and I can't get it. And I'm like, you have the whole room. Why are you flying on the camera? Why you gotta do that to me? All right, if you're gonna be here and torment me, like, can you just not be in the fucking camera? Like, please? I'm trying to deal with it. So yeah, if you see that, just know that that little bugger has been torturing me for like the past 2 hours since I've been setting this up. They're insecure about your independence. They're insecure about the fact that they feel like they don't measure up to you. And I know that's not satisfying. I know that sucks. It's like, well, why don't they just believe in themselves? Why don't they just... I think they're in the process of starting to do that. But I think they just don't believe in themselves. Like with this Two of Wands in reverse, yeah, and the Page of Swords, like they're just in a very negative place right now. Like they're in a very negative place, and like they can't really picture good things happening in their future. And you're a good thing. And so you don't really fit what they thought, the way that they see their future right now. I do think they're kind of hopeless. And okay, let me just clarify that. They are not hopeless as a person. They are feeling hopeless about themselves and their life right now. Very important distinction there. You know, I feel like there's definitely worries that they would not be able to live up to your expectations of them. And you might, and I feel like, I swear some of y'all are being like, what expectations? First of all, you should at least have some. But second, a lot of times people can just mentally conjure up whatever they think people's expectations of them are. You don't have to necessarily list them out. Like, people make assumptions all the time about shit. And I feel like for this person, they've had an assumption that they're not worthy of you, and eventually you'll figure it out. So they might as well just cut their losses, or at least wait until they're a little bit more confident in themselves. I feel like they're afraid to be on the receiving end of your wrath as well. And that might be a little bit confusing to you, because you're like, I'm not a very wrathful individual. And I would agree with you. Once again, it's just something they're making up in their head. Like, honestly, the reason why this person did what they did is because they're not in a good place. And honestly, I think that this person did the right thing. Maybe not in how they did it. Like, maybe they needed to communicate, or, you know, maybe they were a little bit too extreme. But if I'm being honest, like, if you're ready for a relationship with someone and you are in a position where like you're ready to build and do that, and this person is still like, I'm just trying to get my footing, it does sound like an incompatibility that will get in the way of a future that you'd want to build together. And so I feel like this person heeded the call. Mind you, it was a fearful call, but they heeded the call to step back or to self-sabotage, because that felt safer than continuing to move forward in this situation that made them feel so vulnerable. They just feel like you're on another level than them. Like, the challenges that they're working through are challenges you've already overcome. And I feel like too, in their own personal life with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like a lot of the things that they've invested in either aren't flourishing fast enough, or what they have invested their time and energy in. And I think that this is to do with like finances or like career. Like, it's turned out to not be as lucrative as they thought, or they have to like change how they're doing things. Like, it's just kind of an extreme change on their end. And I think that also they feel out of their depth with you. They do not only do they not feel in control when they're with you, but I don't think they knew how to take your light, and I don't think they knew how to be in lightness with you. Like, because there's clearly a lot of light when you guys are together, and there's clearly a lot of camaraderie and joy. Like I just see like two dolphins like playing and just having fun and just doing little dolphin laughs, you know, just like vibing. Two intelligent beings that just get to, I feel like you guys vibe so much because you're both intelligent and you like to well, obviously you like to connect with other people that can, you know, be on your level, but I think also you guys experience levity together that neither of you get as often with other people, if at all. I think you probably experience more levity than this person does. It may not be by much, but what I really see here is that this person, whatever they did it because the lightness that the connection between the two of you brought, juxtaposed with the rough, hard, challenging, and scary conditions they're living in, they're feeling, that their mind is in, and that they're projecting towards their future, it just didn't match. It just didn't align. And this is not to say what's for the future, but I will say that like this person definitely is not ready for something more or something deeper, because they really do need to get, it's not that they need to really get their, I mean, maybe they do need to get their like life affairs in order. I think, you know, everybody needs to do, like, you know, I do think this person needs to get their life affairs in order a little bit, but the reality of the situation is that they haven't done the inner work to have healthier self-esteem. And I think that one thing that you may not know is that they felt a lot of jealousy and insecurity, seeing you shine in ways that they feel like maybe they're not living up or they're not enough. And that's the kind of, and that makes me sad, like for you and this person, because I can really tell that you felt seen by this person and you felt like they got you. And it might be kind of hard to hear that maybe they didn't see you as clearly as you thought they did because their insecurities were clouding their vision. But I think they did what they did because they couldn't stand the heat. They had to get out of the kitchen. It's not to say that they don't have the utmost love and respect for the chef, that being you in this case. But yeah, they just don't think they're enough, as they are. And if they think that, they're right. Honestly, they're right. Until they stop looking at themselves this way. Like, honestly, some of this behavior is like kind of a loser attitude. And maybe this person, and like, we all have loser attitudes sometimes. That's okay. When it's perpetual and chronic, I don't think this person has a perpetual and chronic loser attitude, but I do think that this person doesn't often have experiences where someone outshines them so clearly. And you might be like, what? Like, I don't outshine them. And it's from their perspective. You got to understand. And it seems like a lot of where your life is together, those are the areas where their life isn't. And it seems like there's more weight and emphasis around, for them specifically, that area of their life being, it needs to be in order. And it's not. And I think honestly, like, they aren't able to give you what you need either. And so they did what they did because it was best for everyone, at least in their mind. Now, it may not have been what's best for everyone, and they may have done it in a very destructive way. I don't know. What I do know is, though, is that what they did, their behavior, it was not a reflection of how they feel about you. It was a reflection of how they feel about themselves. And unfortunately, we cannot love someone into loving themselves. They have to want to do that for themselves. And it seems like their ego really did not like the idea of you helping them get out of this hole, or you being by their side while they climb their way out, because then they wouldn't be able to say they did it all on their own. And that's really the key right there. Like, they want to do it on their own. Like, they need the satisfaction of knowing that they did it themselves. And so that's not the mentality of someone that wants a partnership. Maybe they do want a partnership, but they want a partnership where they can actually be a partner. Like, this person can't be a partner right now. And they've got such a one-track mind that they're not considering you. And that's kind of the thing, is like, I'm saying it because I feel like I picked up on it intuitively. Like, you think this person sees you, but a lot of what they see when they see you is everywhere where they're not enough. And that is so fucking lame. Like, I really just want to go talk to this person and be like, my dude, my guy, my gal, my person, wake up. Like, it is one of those things where it's like you kind of want to shake someone, but you can't, like, you can't get people to see that stuff. They have to see it for themselves. So yeah, I think this person did what they did because they weren't ready to step into something deeper with you, and because they were really insecure about being in a relationship and they weren't ready for a partnership. It really had literally nothing to do with you. I think they do think the world of you, and they see you as someone who's attractive, successful. They see you as someone really grounded and humble. There's a sweetness to you that I think that a lot of, there's a sweetness to you that I think a lot of people may miss, because maybe you only show that side of yourself when you feel safe. But yeah, this person's just in like a really destructive place right now, mentally, physically, spiritually. And I feel like they did, like, it is giving kind of like, I did it to protect you. I did it. Like, okay, Batman, shut up. I don't know. Sometimes I'm not like, I don't even think Batman, depends on which Batman we're talking about. There's so many Batmans. I don't know, maybe Batman has something to do with this. But yeah, Batman can be, like, some iterations of Batman, like, he's a massive self-loathing loser. So, you know, and also so self-important. And instead of using his money to, like, improve infrastructure, listen, he does what he does because without it, we wouldn't have Batman, right? We need Batman. But, like, but objectively, if we were observing Batman outside of his lore and he was just a person, like, you see the live action Batman movies and you kind of gotta giggle because, like, it's so silly to see a guy in that suit. Love all the Batman. I mean, what's your favorite Batman, by the way? Mine is a toss-up between the second Michael Keaton one with Danny DeVito or Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like, yes, the Christopher Nolan Batmans are good, but, like, they're just so, like, 2000s-y. Like I don't know, they're emblematic of that time, but I find things charming visually about, like I find things charming. I love the 80s ones. I just think they don't make movies like that anymore. Practical effects, I love seeing practical effects and stuff like that. Also love Danny DeVito. Michelle Pfeiffer, I mean, are you kidding me? It's such a good movie. But then the Robert Pattinson Batman, like, yes, like, it just, yes, like, that was a movie where I was just like, wow, I love, like the cinematic shots were just so cool, and like so many fight scenes were really cool. It was just a vibe. I really liked it. And that's not to say I dislike any of the other ones. I mean, I've never sat through, I watched like 5 minutes of the George Clooney one and I was like, I'm done. But yeah, I just think Christopher Nolan Batmans are great, but, like, they're not my favorite. I know you were curious. I bet that was keeping you up at night. like, oh my God, what does Eso think about the Batman movies? Well, now you know. Maybe that should be a second channel video. Let me know if you agree or disagree. That being said, though, I have some questions and I want to get some answers. So I do want to know, first and foremost, okay, well, I'm torn between what I know you want me to ask and what I want to ask because I know it's good for you. So just deciding which one. You want to know if there's a future here. Maybe for some of you, you know that there isn't, or you know that there likely will be. For some of you, though, you're like, should I stay or should I go? And you know what? Because I love you so much, I'll do your question first. And yeah, once again, throw a dog a bone, leave it a like. You know what to do. Okay. What does group number 1 need to know about the future of this connection, this situation? Okay, well, this is very clear. We got the Queen of Wands coming out again. So, I love when tarot is just like, I know what you want to hear, but this is what you need to hear. So it doesn't matter whether there is a future between you and this person or not. Right now, there can't be, because they gotta get their act together. And honestly, it's none of your business. The fact that we have the Queen of Wands twice coming out here, and also the Fool when we have the World, and the Seven of Swords, things are not as they seem. But be careful trying to interpret what life is meant to be right now and what's meant to happen. Because honestly, if anything, it seems like I said liberation. This situation is meant to liberate you, because it seems like it's actually been weighing you down. Like, and I think it's been weighing this person down too. And I think that makes both of you sad. Like, I genuinely, like, I don't think that there's, like if there's hard feelings here, I feel like it's probably on your end towards this person. But I feel like this person, like, doesn't want to have hard feelings towards you. And, like, you know, maybe being around you and, like, you know, dealing with jealousy or insecurity, you know, maybe they started to feel, like, bitterness or, like, frustration or, like, feelings that they don't want to feel when it comes to you. I don't feel like this person is someone that is hopeless. And that's why I was so specific about that earlier. But I do think that both of you right now are in situations where it is in both of your best interests to put yourselves first. And it's in your best interest to not write stories about what's happening, why it happened, because the story might change in an instant. And also, I think, you know, I feel like maybe you wanted me to be a lot angrier, or like give you a truth that this person is like actually nefarious and like they were plotting all along to, like, you know, screw you over, but like they weren't. You know, they felt the same things you did. Like they still feel the things that you feel for that. Like the bond and the connection is there. Like it's still there. Like there is a reason why. Like it wasn't, I don't think it was future faking deliberately, but I do think that, you know, maybe in talks of the future, like this person's perspective of the future and what's possible, I think their perspective has shifted a little bit, because it seems like things haven't moved for them the way that they wanted them to. But that doesn't mean that they're right. Like, you know, what's that phrase? Like, we make plans and God laughs. Like, I think that's kind of a message for you. Like, you don't need to plan. If anything, you just need to remember who the fuck you are and go have fun and be silly and not worry about this. I know that's a lot easier said than done, given what is clearly, you know, something that's very important and meaningful to you, but you're attractive by nature. I think that you could very well manifest something better here, something better in general, or continued separation depending on the story you write, what you want, and how you see it. I think you have a very powerful ability to generate what you want to see in the world, and I feel like the universe is kind of here to say, hey, you're not seeing everything right now because you're not meant to. The blinders you have on, and part of the reason why you can't really go deeper into a lot of this stuff, I mean, I feel like hopefully this reading has been helpful for you in terms of like, just accept, because I feel like a lot of these truths you already know, but they're not really satisfying, because it's like, because we want to see the people we care about thrive and succeed and be with us. We want to see the people we care about next to us. But I do think there's a call here that maybe some of your concerns should go back to yourself. And that in fact, your focus needs to be on your journey in general. This is your time, honestly, to just enjoy being you, enjoy what you've cultivated in life, enjoy the life that you've built for yourself, and let other people be responsible for their own lives, and give yourself permission to start enjoying yours, and give others permission to take up space with you that light you up, that make you feel good, that make you feel light, that make you feel silly. You know, you don't, and I think one big thing that Spirit is saying as well is like, this doesn't have to be a time about planning routes. This can just be a time of you shining and having fun. And maybe that's especially important after a disappointing situation like this. What guidance do you have for group 3 also? Okay. We have Temperance and the Queen of Swords. So I would definitely say it is in your best interest at this time to make decisions that are more logical and in your own best interest. Things that you might deem as cold, which I don't think really are cold, I think are very necessary for this time, because I think the universe is kind of asking you to be a bit unapologetic about your needs and your desires and building them. You're so good at compromising with other people, but I feel like Spirit wants you to actually be compromising with yourself so that you don't have to compromise as much. Like, you're so used to compromising and making sacrifices and like just choosing honestly an objectively less exciting and objectively less fun-filled, less whimsical, less joyful life because other people plague your mind with worries, or because other people need you, or because other people, like, you are allowed to just enjoy yourself. You don't need someone else's permission. And I feel like you are meant to be a little bit more unapologetic when it comes to saying no and doing things for the sake of yourself. This is your life, this is your time, and this is your time to have fun. And I think that this is a time as well of valuable mental discipline and like just making healthy changes in terms of your cognition and in terms of like how you make decisions. Because one thing that I can see here is that you haven't always made the best decisions when it comes to yourself, because you've either felt bad or felt guilty or felt like you were obligated to give more of yourself away, or you were obligated to accept whatever you received. And I feel like the universe is really saying, we want you to want more for yourself. And also we want you to want to protect yourself, to want to say, we want you to look at the situation and say, you know what, I care about this person, but they're right, they're not enough for me right now. Maybe they could be in the future, and if they are meant to grow and change, and that's their journey, and it's kind of up to them. That doesn't have to be any of your business. But I do think the universe is saying that you're in a powerful process of creating more balance. And with temperance here, I really think leaning on philosophical or spiritual values or guidance or like books or sources like that could be really helpful. And even too, actually, this is something that I have been told to do recently. So I'll pass it along for you as well. I thought about doing this like as a video, but like I don't know how, if that would be very interesting, and I don't even know how I'd set it up, but like I read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and I'm just like, okay, I see the vision, but like you were on opium for the last 20 years of your life, and that could have kind of helped with the stoicism. And also, like, how does one who's highly emotional like try to live like a stoic? And I'm not saying to do that like permanently, but I do think like almost like trying to get into a mode of thinking or a philosophical viewpoint of life that contradicts what your natural nature is could actually be really good for you developing skills and habits that you can take with you, that you don't have to continue forever, but that could just open up areas of awareness that you didn't have before. So like for me, I think I'm gonna try stoicism. I will probably fail at it a lot, but that's the point of trying, and I think it would be good for me. I don't know, at the same time maybe it wouldn't, because I'm kind of a hard ass on myself. Maybe I'm just not meant to care. Maybe I'm just meant to be, I don't know. I don't even really truly understand what, so like I have to go in and read more. I've just read Marcus Aurelius, but like stoicism is a whole ass philosophy. Be patient with yourself, and also be patient with this person in this situation, because I do think that like you're not going to see any immediate change. Like you're not going to see change tomorrow. Like this person's not going to wake up tomorrow, I guess, unless you manifest it and have got some crazy skills. Like this person's not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, I've got it, and I'm going to turn everything around. I do think that this is a more gradual change, but I think that one of the gifts of this time is, you know, you are not being denied love in your future, but you are being denied love that can't be on earth with you. Like I think that this person has a lot of love for you. Maybe they like even like that, or they could just love you, like love you, period. But the way that their life and earth circumstances are right now, and internally, like that love and that light, like it just, it's helping them because it sets them on fire, but it seems like they need a break from that. And you need it too, because your life needs to be a little bit lighter. And I think that number one, Archangel Michael seems to be quite significant to this situation. I would pray to him for guidance, for protection, for knowledge, but also think about your future. Think about you in 20 or 30 years from now. Think about what you have the opportunity to do right now that you may not have the opportunity to do. Whether it's because, you know, who knows how the world changes, you know, maybe you know, you're the youngest you'll ever be. Go do things that you've been putting off because, you know, one day you may not be able to do them anymore, and you may look back and wish you did them when you had the time. You know, I feel like the universe is kind of saying, look at this as a gift, and don't invalidate the pain that comes from having to surrender and let go of a situation that means a lot to you. But use it as a gift to really focus on yourself and focus on your own self-discovery, and also to focus on getting out there and exploring and seeing what life and the world has to offer and what you want. I feel like you've been focused for a long time on what others want, what others do, and you've kind of maybe felt some security in the idea of, well, I'll just do what they do, or I'll just you know, it's like you're such a team player that I think you need practice being a team of one and learning to be on your own team for once, because it seems like you just can really be your own worst enemy sometimes in ways that cause you to not enjoy life as much as you could be, because you feel like you don't deserve it, and then you're seeking more as a result from situations like this because you're not getting fulfillment from the present. I mean, I'm sure you still are in plenty of other degrees, but it seems like this love wound situation has just been taking up a lot of your focus. And I feel like it's also like you've really been questioning yourself and feeling like, man, am I not good enough? Like, you are good enough. And this person is good enough too, but if they don't think they are, then they're not. And until they do think they're good enough and actually act on that to be good enough, then what's the point? I really do feel, though, there's a message here that you can't tell the future when it comes to this situation. And I think it's honestly being like deliberately obscured, because it's almost like you're meant, like, the volume of this connection needs to be turned down so you can hear yourself, and so that you can kind of reorient and reopen your mind to ideas that maybe you said no to because you had a very specific idea of what the future was supposed to be. And I feel like the universe is saying nothing is a no forever, nothing is a complete shutdown, but there's definitely a no for now, but also this no is a giant yes from the universe, in terms of there's so much more for you, and there's so much more for you to discover. And like, let's be real, I feel like you've been stuck in a place where you felt like you've been complacent anyways and life hasn't been moving. This will allow life to at least start moving again. And I also think reconnect you with your higher self and with your higher principles. And yeah. If there's one message you could leave my group ones with, Spirit, what message would you like to leave them with? We have the Knight of Wands and the Lovers. So, number one, if this situation is meant to be, it will happen. Number two, there is nothing wrong with having a little promiscuity or, listen, if you want to go be feral and do the devil's tango with as many people as you want, so long as it's consenting and safe, I feel like you're being given permission to do that, especially if you're the type of person that's always like, one thing that the universe is saying, like, you don't need to have loyalty to a situation that there is no present commitment or effort or emphasis towards, and you are allowed to do whatever you want. And in fact, I think there's an encouragement that if you want to, go for it safely, consensually, but you don't have to like live by, stop considering other people's feelings. Just do what you want to do. Like, please for the love of God, consider yourself first for once, please. Tons of people want to get on the group one train, and if you want to let them on from the front to the caboose. Like, I let them on, have fun, do your thing, be safe. With this Lover's card being here, what you do now will not corrupt whatever your future is meant to be. What you do now, you're only missing the point if you take action from a place of, well, what would this person think if they knew I was doing this? Who gives a fuck what they think? We just talked about what they think, and what they think is delusional. So it doesn't matter what they think, because their radio is signaled to the fear station, and it's not realistic. And it's the same goes for you. It's not realistic to think like, oh, they're gonna know that I did this thing, and what if they don't like that, or what if they're not attracted to me? If that's the case, then they like, you shouldn't be with someone like that anyway. With the Lover's card being here, one thing that the universe really wants to leave you with is this idea that actually it's a lot of things. Number one, you don't have to, after you move through difficult personal feelings of whatever went down between the two of you, if you still look at this person very lovingly and still like want the best for them, that's great. You don't have to stop doing that. And in fact, you can send like them like, you know, words of love or encouragement, you know, through the ether. Maybe texting them, I would be, or like reaching out to them, I would be more cautious about. But you will have the type of love that you want. But the reason why the situation isn't working out is because the two of you couldn't maintain the type of love that you share while this person is in the state they're in. And truthfully, you're not in the state to be maintaining it either. That's kind of why this situation happened, because it's not just this like, you're too focused on being partnered and they're too focused on themselves, right? So, and what the universe is really saying is, hey, in order to have this type of love that you're wanting and cultivating, you actually do need to spend more time with yourself and have more fun and let go of control a little bit, because I promise you everything will work out for the highest good of all. And not only that, there's a lot of adventure to be had and a lot of fun to be had, a lot of pleasure to experience. And it's your time to do that. And you don't need to feel bad about what this person's dealing with or what they're going through. That's their life. That's what they're responsible for. You need to take responsibility of the fact that you're not having enough fun, and you need to step the fuck up and you need to go have more fun. And yeah. And one thing that I will say, like with a situation like this as well, like if it is meant to be, it will be. And if it's not meant to be, then trust me, something better will, like, it'll be something even better. But I really do have a feeling, like, especially like with this group, like this person needs this time, really honestly, to be ground down into a fine powder that their soul snorts, so that they can just have the ego death that they need so that they can start thriving and growing, because they're just not in that place right now. I don't know what that weird analogy or metaphor was. I don't even know if that had meaning. But what I do know is that you don't need to pay any attention to what's going on in their world, because trust me, the goal for you, you'll know you're in alignment when you're having so much fun, or you're just so tuned into your own world. You're not thinking about them. You're not wondering what's happening. And you're at peace with whatever happens, because you know you'll be okay. And you'll also realize, oh, there were ways in which I was not living to my fullest that I am glad that I'm now doing. You'll be so focused and in your own world. If they're meant to pop back up, it'll probably be during a time like that. But if it's meant to be someone else, or maybe many people, I feel like that's possible as well. You know, stop trying to make decisions based on what you think the right thing is to do, and just start doing what feels good, because you've just never given yourself permission to do that. And it's about time you do, because honestly, like, it's an important component missing in partnership. It's an important component in partnership, and you're kind of missing that piece. I feel like that's why you were able to stay in this situation for as long as you were. But that's just a testament to your heart, and just a testament to the type of person you are. And this reading feels really incomplete, so I am going to finish off for real with this deck, since it's right here and it's really helpful. Here's what's funny though, like I every single time I'm like, I'm just gonna use one deck and simplify it, and then it feels wrong. Like, you can't just make me use one deck. Do you know how many decks I have? Too many. Okay, so let's just get a message for you. Okay, and I'm closing my eyes. So for group number 1, please, Spirit, what message do you want to leave my group 1s with? What do they need to know? We have the B. Belief, sweet reward, productivity. With focused intention and diligence, I accomplish great things that benefit many beings. Believe in yourself. You are capable of more than you realize. Take your interests and passions seriously so you commit time and energy to their development and expression. When you live as your true self, doing work that has meaning for you, you are helping many more beings than you realize. Your inner light has a positively contagious effect. It lights up the lives of those around you, so let yourself shine. Do not be afraid to work hard, but also make time to enjoy your life. I would like to repeat, also make time to enjoy your life. There's a distinct need for what you have to offer. And I think you have, and honestly, like, you have to offer more than just work. Like, you can, like, there's so much to offer by you just seeing other people. You know, like for example, I don't go out very often, but when I do, I always attract people that, like, you know, clearly need to hear something from me. And it seems like it helps them. Is it a little bit annoying sometimes? Yeah. But it's not their fault. Like, they don't know who I am. Like, it's just one of those energy things. But then I realized, like, oh, I got to do something. I got to help someone or shatter their whole night. One time, I'll finish with this quick story. One time, I was out with some friends, and my friend introduced me to this guy that she knew, and she's like, oh yeah, this is my friend, you know, she's a tarot reader. And the guy goes, tarot? He's like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I was like, why? And he goes, well, it's just too true, it's too real. And I was like, well, I guess that's only a problem if you're living a lie. And I said it without thinking, like, and his face just dropped. And it looked like I ruined his whole night. And I was just like, I didn't know what to do. So I just said, nice to meet you. And I walked away. But I wonder where he is now. And I hope, you know, maybe I ruined his night, but maybe I saved his life. Probably not. But maybe, you know, maybe he realized, I don't know. I just thought that was a funny story. I just really love talking to you guys. Like, clearly you offer something if I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I want to keep giving you more. Oh my God, no wonder. Yeah, because you guys are so generous and I just want to keep giving you more. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Oh, God love you guys. I love you guys so much. That group one, that's where I'm going to leave this reading. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else. Or tipping me if you have ad block on, or turning off your ad block for me. I'd really appreciate that. You don't have to watch the ads, but think about it. You're doing something very powerful. You're paying me and also wasting advertising dollars. If you click on the ad, I think that gives me even more, so you could do that. So thank you for doing that to everyone who does that. But you don't have to. Leaving a like, comment, subscribe, email list, link down below, all that jazz. It's all linked down there. You know. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back in and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Rose Quartz Rose and the Forest Spirit Imprint Tarot, this is going to be your reading on why did the person you're asking about do what they did. So we're going to see if this is your reading first by looking at who this person is and what they did to you. So if this does not resonate, I would try another group. If it does resonate, but it's not the person you're asking about, feel free to watch. Then maybe try another group if you're still looking for someone else. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and see. So for who this is, we have the Hierophant in reverse. We have the Camel. We have Storm Warning. And we have the Thinking Woman in reverse. And as for what they did, we have the King of Cups. We have Puppet. And we have Heal the Ouch. Okay. So This is a very interesting energy. This is the kind of thing I was looking for. Like, or I was hoping that would come out. Forgive me. I'm so excited about what I'm about to deliver, even though it's not an exciting message. It's just, well, let me get to the point. There's a lot that I see here with this situation, and I definitely think whether this is the person you are asking about or not, and it may not just be one person, actually, it could be a whole group, but led by one person with a feminine energy, or like a very, if you've ever seen Futurama, I'm literally getting like mom vibes from Futurama. You can look her up. She's quite dark triad, but like there's a very distinct like her public facing persona and then who she is behind closed doors are very different. And I feel like whoever this is someone that at one point had authority over you, whether it was given or whether it was automatic or forced. Because let's be real, as kids, you don't really have a choice in who has authority over you. But this could have been a lot of different situations. First of all, this doesn't have to be a woman either. Take that part as it resonates. What I can see, though, is that this is someone who's very rigid and very conservative. I don't necessarily mean politically, but if the shoe fits, go for it. But then again, I'm speaking in like terms of America. I don't know what conservative means in like other areas of the world. So, you know, they use different terms everywhere. So take it how it resonates. This is definitely someone who, like the Futurama character I was just describing, keeps their cool very well under pressure. And they're also someone who plays the long game, like in a scary way. Like they don't let go of grudges. Like they are a grudge holder till the day they die. They don't even need to remember what it was about. They remember how they felt, and that's enough. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, like the energy here is a little scary. And that's why I feel bad saying like I was excited, just because like getting nuance about a situation like this, I'm not excited that this happened to you or that you had to deal with this person. I'm excited that these cards are communicating a scenario that's interesting and new for me, that I feel like is valuable and important to talk about. So I'm glad we're here and I'm glad we get to talk about it. But I just wanted to clarify that because this like I can definitely see why you'd have questions. I feel like this person just I need to stop looking at the cards so I can just like talk to you for real. Like the vibe that I get from this person is that you placed your trust in them in a very intimate way, and they manipulated you or betrayed your trust or kept you dependent on them and either took from you or manipulated you in ways that were really harmful, I think, to your psyche, or really taught you like this could be like quintessential person that teaches you never to trust anyone if you're that like traumatized by it, or the type of person that teaches you about trusting your instincts, trusting your judgment. This is definitely someone who has like a public facing persona with authority, or this is someone that's a part of a group where if it's a group situation, there's dogma involved. It could be a religious group, it could be like it could be in academia, it could be like the types of roles this person could fit in. Spiritual leader, teacher, counselor, therapist, anyone who is a respected authority in like in a system with a tradition. would kind of fit in that. It doesn't necessarily they don't necessarily have to be that though, but it does seem like if it's not like a group situation, like if it is a group situation, this person clearly was either a leader in this group or someone that had access to the leader of this group and was very influential in making decisions. Like, I was getting real concrete examples of this type of energy, and I just don't even want to say it, but you guys can think of, for example, I'm sure you guys can think of examples. But this is definitely someone who's rigid, dogmatic, quite strict, and also always keeps their cool. It's hard to know what they're thinking, and I think they are the type of person that seems very harmless. And they're also the type of person who's very, very, very conscious of how they're perceived. I definitely feel like this person isn't in your life anymore. And thank goodness for that. Or they're the type of person that can just lull you into a false sense of security and is the type of person that can make you... They're definitely very good at lying, is what I will say. Like, but honestly, I don't even know how much is lying and how much are truths they justify to themselves. Like this person can make any lie true if it benefits them. You see what I'm saying? There's no loud siren to let you know that this person... siren. For some of you, this could have been a romantic interest, but like... This is the type of romantic interest where this person like has like siren behavior, like luring people in to get what they want out of them without concern for others. This person is only concerned for others so far as whether those others give them control or whether those others validate their own self-worth. This is someone who's very independent, and truthfully, they don't really need anyone. Now, I don't think they don't have feelings at all. I definitely think they have a lot of feelings, but they're very good at keeping them under wraps. And what I can see here is that I think that this is the exact type of person that like weaponizes therapy speak or uses religious doctrine or whatever it may be to justify their own viewpoints and assert power over others. But they do it in ways that are very intelligent because they make you think it's your idea. And it's like they instill false hope and promises in ways that make you feel like if you are not the one, that if those promises don't happen, you didn't earn them or it was somehow your fault. And they keep you and they keep you kind of stuck in that because they keep like once if the illusion gets shattered or like falters at all, they're really good at reinstilling that hope. Like this is someone who is like honestly kind of scary because they are like, this is the type of person that, you know, if they were tormenting you as a kid and you told your parents about them, they'd be like, what are you talking about? That like this person is a great person. It is textbook abuser behavior. Like I'm just like but this is the type of person that does it in a way where they don't need to be physical. All right? This is a type of psychological stuff where it's like you will be sitting next to, you know, Miss Smith, and you realize Miss Smith is like Caligula underneath, and you're just like, what's going on in your brain? This is definitely someone who has their own agenda. Well, I definitely can't wait to get into the why. But yeah, it looks like they emotionally manipulated you, and it looks like they kept you. It's like they would cause you pain that they would be able to attribute, like, they would either have plausible deniability, it wasn't them, or they'd be able to turn it back on you. Ooh, I see a spider on a tree over there, and it's a big black spider. Or is it a spider or is it a beetle? I don't know. I can't see. But big black widow. Oh. Like this is some like, maybe for some of you this is an ex-partner. And that Hierophant here is like, this is an ex, or someone your ex left you for. If they did, good riddance, and trust me, they got their punishment. But there's a lot, like, all of that to say there's a lot of different scenarios here. But this is the type of thing where I will validate and say, like, I don't really think you could have seen this person coming, because not only do they have such a disarming and unthreatening and unassuming aura, energy, essence, vibe, expression, that nobody would ever suspect what's all going on in there. And they keep things so tightly controlled that it's I think very few people have ever seen their mask slip. And in fact, I feel like when it comes to this situation, maybe they didn't necessarily do anything, you just had to get away. Or maybe they let their mask slip in front of you and you did something to challenge their authority. But what I see here is you woke up to the fact they were emotionally manipulating you, they were controlling you, and they were hurting you and keeping you stuck with promises that they could heal you or promises that they could help you, which is terrible. And like, I can't stop thinking about, number one, this person might be a heavy chain smoker. They might really enjoy their cigarettes. But like Camel cigarettes specifically, but also I was thinking too about how like camels spit. And like, I feel like this person, like, oh yeah, I'm thinking of the movie Heathers. You know, and that's an example of a movie where there's a group dynamic that, you know, when one host of the queen bee goes the way of the blue drink, the one that fulfills her place, you know, just someone else comes in and fills their place. I definitely feel like this is a power hungry person, but they also choose power positions where they can be more obscure, covert, because they don't like to be the one out in front of everyone. They like to be the one directing things behind the scenes. Like yeah. And they're very convincing, and they're pretty conniving, and they also, like, I think it goes so deep that, like, I think they even, like, they genuinely believe a lot of the things that they do. And they take a lot of things personally on behalf of whatever group or institution or thing that they serve or are a part of. And if that thing is just the church of themselves, then take that. Because for some of you, the institution that they serve is themselves, but they see themselves as so important. This is the type of person that can torment you secretly and get you to do a lot of things that you would never typically do. It kind of reminds me, if you guys have ever watched Shauna the Mom, she's excellent, like, so good. She does this character called Barb, and, like, this person is not like Barb in the sense, like, Barb is very emotionally messy, and if you look her up, you'll see what I mean. But, like, she has a lot of inner Barb, but she does not, whoever this person is, they do not have, they're so good at covering it, you don't realize that they're, like, they're like 2 steps ahead in ways where it's like, this person is orchestrating games that nobody else is playing. And they always win because nobody knew a game was happening. Like, they're very good. Like, it's like, this is the kind of thing where you are like, I want to lock my windows and doors after this. Well, I mean, this person would never do anything violent or do anything. Like, they are just the type of person, they are a menace to any office or community environment they are a part of, because they are there for their own entertainment. And it takes nothing to get on their enemies list. And if and heaven forbid, if you are a young person, if you are younger than this person, what I really see here is that they definitely got, we'll have to get into the whys. We haven't even started with why yet. They have not, like, you definitely would have been very soothing to their ego, especially if they have kind of like an outward like Mother Goose vibe about them. And like I said, this could be a man, it doesn't have to be a woman, but I am getting very strong like woman energy from this. Especially with the thinking woman being there, and like, but if this is a woman, she is highly patriarchal. So like, so that's one thing to say as well. Like, even if this woman, actually, I wouldn't say that they really have feminine energy. I would say they have like really masculine energy. Like, they're cold, they're collected, they're and also incredibly emotional, but don't see themselves that way. Like, the reason that this person was able to manipulate you so well is because they have a talent for spotting emotional depth, and they also have a talent for spotting unassuming people. Like not saying that like people that, unassuming isn't the right word. They're good at spotting people that they know won't make a ruckus. You see what I'm saying? We haven't gotten into the whys yet, but I'll tell you what. In order for a person to be like this, I don't want to know what their parents were like, or what environment they were raised in, because that just, whew. Yeah, so like what I can say immediately, like whatever they did to you, it was definitely not your fault, but it definitely was calculated, and also like you could not have known, unless like you're like, because here's the thing, like intuitive people sniff that stuff, but like the rest of the world is like, well, be logical, there's no evidence. And it's like, yeah, because people like that are very good at hiding, like, it's not your fault. So let's say that. And also, if you're enjoying this and I've been spot on, maybe you should leave me a little like ski, throw a dog bone. Okay, why did this person manipulate group 2? What is their deal? Okay, we have the Knight of Wands and the Two of Swords. Why did this person... We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the Empress. And we have the Five of Wands in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse. This person was very jealous of you. Very, 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 very jealous. And you might be like, well, I was like, especially like, and you're like, well, I was a kid, like, and I will say, especially if you were a kid. There's so many court cards here that it's almost a little absurd. So I do feel like in general, there's a lot of things at play here. Like, this person is a bit of a basket case. Like, this is a quintessential person who does not have a life. Their life is other people. They manipulated you because they manipulate everyone, and everyone is a means to an end to them. And for you specifically, I think they liked, actually, it's not as like nefarious. I think they really just enjoyed being able to, like, they enjoyed watching you do things you told them to do. They enjoyed watching you take direct action that they influence you to do. It made them feel powerful. But also, this person enjoys excitement. They like stirring up drama, but they are never at the center of it. They're very good at that. And they weren't always good at this. But this person, like, they have a quick and sharp mind. And I think that they're also very good at recognizing threats and recognizing people that question them. And they almost know, like, okay, I've got to charm this person. I've got to. So you might have been one of the people that they needed to charm. But also at the same time, I'm seeing a completely separate narrative here for some of you, where whether you were this person's child or a dependent, or they watched you grow up or helped raise you in some way, or they might have seen you as a very valuable asset that they wanted to hold on for themselves. I feel like they have some really warped ideas about being needed. But like, honestly, guys, there's so much like going on here that I think the reason why they did it is because a lot of things they decide in the moment, because they're just like, they don't even know why. They just do it. But they've gotten really good at doing that. And with this Knight of Cups in reverse and the Empress, I think that they want to punish anyone who they see as the universe giving them what they didn't have. Okay, all right. So one reason why they manipulated you is because, first of all, if they can't heal or they can't get what they want, nobody deserves it. And I definitely think that if this was a dynamic where one of them, where you were younger than them, or you were a child and they were adult, I definitely think they saw you as someone, like, there could have been something about you that actually reminded them of themselves. And they were probably comparing themselves and being like, well, I didn't have. They could have seen your childhood and also like who you were growing up to be, or the potential of who you could grow up to be, as something that was like, oh my God, I got another thing coming in. Hold that. Like, that should have been my, like, that's who I could have been if that was my life. That's not fair. Like, I need to teach you about the real world. But also too, depending on the situation, this is not going to be for everyone. Your father, or like a male figure, or a paternal or maternal figure, they could have gotten close to you because they wanted closer proximity to somewhat to one of your guardians, like someone who raised you. And they may have wanted more access and influence and control over you. Like, I definitely think that they could have tried to be like a surrogate mother to you, or they could have tried, like, I feel like they could use like emotional manipulation as a way to get ego validation in terms of like being needed and being valued. Like, especially if this is someone who maybe they wanted children and never had them or couldn't have them, or maybe they do have children and those children don't talk to this person. They could try to fill that wound in other ways, but I also feel like there's this wound of seeing that like you were nurtured in a way that they weren't, or you loved yourself in a way that they didn't. You had a sense of like beauty and grace and refinement about you. Like you had idealized qualities. You know what I was saying about like this person is really masculine energy? I do feel like you have you don't have to, but for some of you, you could have very like feminine qualities, or like, no, here's what I can say. For all of you, you had qualities that they felt like they didn't have. And truthfully, I don't even know if they wanted them, because I don't know if they manipulated you because they wanted those qualities. I don't think they really cared. I think actually they wanted to control you to get the benefits of what your qualities could get them. And with this Knight of Cups in reverse, I feel like there's a little dichotomy here of, I think this person had like genuine affection for you in whatever way they can, but it was also mixed with envy, and it was mixed with a desire to control and a desire to punish, but also a desire for validation from you. So it's a really interesting, like, you guys are going to tell me what the situation is and like what happened, because there's so many players here and I don't know what all is going on, truthfully. I think that honestly, this person couldn't even tell you why they do what they do. Some of it's just boredom. I do think they get their sense of security from controlling others and from feeling needed and from being a provider. And I don't think that they, I don't think that, well, I don't think it's, I almost basically know that this person was never nurtured as a child. And it definitely seems like their life can be kind of boring and flat. And having someone believe in you and having power and control over someone, or having power and control over an entire environment, yeah, that's entertaining for this person. I will say as well, I do feel like if this is a community group thing, I do think they had a rivalry with someone else. And maybe that rivalry was quite literally for your attention and control. Especially if you were a child or like in a situation where it was like two authority figures. But I see you just being one of many, in the sense of like, I honestly, like, I can't understand how this person's like, one of the Harry Potters, there's a retired professor, and he collects photographs of all the famous or accomplished students he taught. That's what this person reminds me of. They definitely have fondness for those that they remain connected to, that are significant, that boost their self-esteem. I feel like if you especially are someone who is quite prominent or has reached a place of success, and you either cut them out of your life or stopped being in their life, I do feel like they could be especially scorned for that. Oh my God, and I forgot to mention too, for some of you, maybe this person reached out to you recently and you don't know why and you're suspicious. If that's the case, probably to get in your good graces, because they probably see having a direct line of communication and also having like positive relations with you as a good sign. Or just like, number one, it's something that they can take as their own, like, oh, well, group two and I, like, this person is not important on their own. Like I said, they don't really have a life. So, they achieve status and power by being in proximity to it and influencing the actual agents carrying out that power. And this person, because they are not powerful on their own, they get a lot of power out of manipulating and controlling other people and being deceptive and like just stirring up chaos, because it makes them feel like the smartest person in the room. It makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel like they can bring down others to their level. It's really sad. It's a really sad way to live. And so I would say, yeah, if you feel like, if you do not owe this person any loyalty or any like compassion or forgiveness just because you knew them for a long time or because they did things for you. Whatever they did for you, even if it was literally raising you, it was for their own selfish benefit, like Mother Gothel vibes. Like, it wasn't for you, it was for them. And if they have reached out to you in any way, it's about them. And like the reason why they did it is because their inner world is an enigma of toxicity that you don't even want to, like, this person, instead of healing, they chose violence, and they chose covert violence, and they chose psychological violence. And I will say, like, they clearly had to be raised in a really cutthroat environment and definitely did not get the love that they needed growing up, but they've certainly made choices that have kept them miserable. Like, I would not be shocked if this person is single and lives alone now, or, you know, even if they did have a family at one point, I would not be shocked if that family is not really much of a part of their life anymore. And that's the thing, is like, this person, that might be especially surprising if they reach out, because if they do, it's probably because they're they're desperate for like validation or something. But I gotta be honest, like, there's some parts of this person that I just can't understand, because I just don't think like them. And like, I'm trying to be like, yeah, but okay, like, what is it? And like, you know, if this person only thought in Italian, I can't just start channeling in Italian because I don't know Italian. But I don't know, like, the level of darkness that this goes into, because this person is quite, you would fight their battles for them. You would make them feel like they had a little soldier that was looking out for them. You made them feel needed and wanted. And you also, you gave them the opportunity to have more influence over someone, like teach them things, imprint your experiences and your life, and they enjoyed imprinting themselves onto you and seeing you be morphed by that. Like, this person is like a well, and you do not know how deep it goes, and or where it goes to, or what channels it has. Like, it's just, it kind of makes me sad, because it seems like this person has clearly like a great capacity for social navigation, and they're just squandering it in the lamest of ways. Like, whew. Okay, so let's switch gears and let's see what you need to know about this situation. So, the beings that love group 2 unconditionally, what does group 2 need to know about this situation, and about this person? What do they need to know? Like, once again, I'm hearing it's not your fault. Yeah. 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Moon, King of Wands. Okay, that's what I needed. I was so confused, because I was like, I mean, even if this person does really love group 2, like, what does it matter? They should be like locked in a cage. Like, this is someone where I would be like, I mean, maybe not against their own free will, but like, if the cage is comfortable and we just happen to forget to unlock it. No, because that's just, no, what a liar I am. That's so not true. That would just be, that's like, it's Hannibal Lecter. Like, oh my God, okay. Hannibal Lecter, if he only committed psychic acts of violence. Like, this person is the type of person that would not mind eating a soul. Like, they get satisfaction out of, the love in your heart is so pure, and is part of what makes you special. And what you need to know is that this person, no matter what they've told you, or no matter what wounds they've instilled in you emotionally, they cannot and they never will ruin your ability to love or tarnish your deservability or tarnish your ability to receive love. Apologies if you can hear my stomach. I feel like there's a message, a big message here though, about the fact that it's understandable and okay to be afraid to open yourself up again. But if you already have love in your life, or you want to have love in your life, and it doesn't have to be romantic, it could just be like intimacy of any kind, you know, just opening up to someone in general, or opening up to people that, you know, that you feel connected. Because I feel like this person, you really felt connected to them. Like, honestly, you know what vibes this gives me? Is like Linda Tripp and Monica Lewinsky. Like, this has Linda Tripp energy all over it. Like, if you don't know, the reason why we all know that Monica Lewinsky blew Clinton was because Linda Tripp was like befriended her and had like tons of recorded tons of phone calls, like all like recording in like the 1990s. Like, you had to really put in a lot of effort to do that back then. It gives that vibe, like gaining someone's trust and even connecting with them. And I think they genuinely were friends to a degree. Like, I think that, I don't know, but like, it reminds me of that. Just know that I feel like what you need to know is that this person no longer has any hold over you. It's not your fault. And you're probably never going to get closure from this situation the way you may be hoping for it. Because this person would take an opportunity for closure to just start playing games again. With the Moon and the King of Wands, though, your strength is the light that will help you see clearly when fear makes everything dark and it's hard to judge and trust yourself. But you have courage and you have bravery and you also have gusto and you have an instinct. I think you felt like there was something wrong here, but the image that this person put forward, and also the image that they the image that they put forward and the way that they can emotionally connect to people, like they're very, that's like one thing I wanted to mention, is like they have this uncanny ability to understand the emotional realm. And so I'm like, that for me sitting here, I'm like, so why don't you heal? Like, this is absurd. You have these gifts and you're just using them to play with people like Sims. That's so lame. Go play the Sims, weirdo. Like, it is one of those things where it's like, what a choice to use your free will with. But know that the fear is much bigger, scarier, and real than the actual danger. Because number one, you've learned from this situation. You've learned a lot. And you will smell any energy like this from a mile away. And honestly, you might smell it when it's not there, but that's okay, because that's just keeping you protected and safe. You don't have to be right or wrong. You can just say, oop, I got a whiff of something. I don't know if it's that smell, but I'm just gonna steer clear because I don't want to get stinky again, you know? You know, they might have taken time and energy and your sanity, but they couldn't take your spirit. And let me be clear, like, your spirit is intact. Like, you are whole, you are healed. That's why I was so confused by this spread, and I was like, what's going on here? Like, this person has instilled a level of self-doubt so deep in you that you don't even see that not only are you already cultivating the type of life this person didn't want you to have and this jealous that you get to live, but you literally have thrived and become an incredible person despite it. And the silly thing is, you just don't really see it, because I feel like this person or their influence still looms over your head. And there's a part of you that questions being seen or standing out. Because what if I attract the wrong energy? What if I attract a person like this again? I can't let people in. But you can, and you are, and you're already doing it. That's the thing. Just keep, like this King of Wands is really just like, keep going. Keep going, King. Keep going, Queen. Keep going, gender neutral monarch. Like, keep going. You've done nothing wrong. And truthfully speaking, this person, like, they were a lesson, and probably a lesson you couldn't have avoided, because they were clearly in proximity to you in a way that was either outside of your control or just something you had to accept in order to be part of a group dynamic, or something that, you know, you were coming out with pure intentions and didn't realize, you know, you were working with Caligula under the hood. Like, who could know that until they start behaving like that outwardly? Like, I gotta say, like, this person is very good at keeping their inner world under wraps. And so honestly, guys, like, I think that this person does stuff and they just don't even, like that person will say the most mean, biting, cutting remark in the most passive aggressive, polite way without even thinking about it. Like, this person, I swear, they must have like a psychic line to a lot of spirits that love to cause chaos and turmoil, because I swear she or they, I keep saying she, so it must be a woman for a lot of you. But they can, it's almost like they just get downloads of nonsense that will stir up the pot, and they do it without even thinking at this point. And then they just watch it happen. Oh, I do not envy you for having to deal with a person like this, but the good news is that they're gone. And one thing I will say though is, like, no, they're not going to change. And just know that, like, they're not part of what made you stronger, but that they are evidence of the fact that nonsense like this can't hold a candle to your strength, to your resilience, to your courage, and to your power. Like, it's time to take your own authority back, because I really do feel like when you hold back or fear gets the best of you, see if it connects to this person and how they treated you in any ways. And I bet you'll be shocked that maybe this person is just still lingering in your subconscious in ways that are making it harder for you to move forward. And so maybe this reading came to you today to say, hey, like, this person has no hold over you. They cannot get in your way. They literally have no power over you. I think also too, like, they may not have access anymore to, like, because really this person has no power at all. Like, the only power they've had is the power to manipulate those with it. But, like, yeah, this person has no power over you. And I think the more you see, like, whatever subconscious blockages hold you back, or whenever you get afraid to get too close to someone, remember that that's what this person wants. They want that. You let them win every time. Don't let them win at their own game. You gotta live, laugh, and love so hard that they poop their pants and they don't even know why. They're just going about their day. Like, this is the type of person that, like, karmically, like, they should have poopy pants every day. But who am I to say? That's just, if I were a divine being, I would probably say it's poopy pants time for you, person group 2's asking about. Okay, but we are gonna go ahead and finish off with a guidance card for you. So what would you like to leave my lovely group 2's with, Spirit? Yes, we have Griffin, loyalty, power of the good, light bearer. And that's truly, like, your goodness, like, your goodness. And that's the thing too, is like, it's probably so hard for you to get, that's probably one reason why it's hard for you to trust, because you are a loyal person. But trust me, like, you trust yourself. You're not gonna fall in that situation again. I trust in the ferociously loving power of divine goodness. Goodness does not need you to be super nice or a doormat. You can be kind, but you can also be a divine badass living with integrity, courage, and truth. Ask the universe for help sorting out any issues you are experiencing so that you can learn from them without losing yourself to them. Trust in the power. Yes, this is literally like this guidance is like, you've learned from this and you will continue learning from this. Stop losing yourself to this. Trust in the power of divine justice. Poopy pants confirmed. You do not have to understand the workings of the universe to know. Oh my God, poopy pants double confirmed. You do not have to understand the workings of the universe to know karma works out all things according to a higher wisdom and timing. You can guide others with wisdom when you integrate your physical and spiritual realities. Be loyal to your values and your truth. And that truth includes, if someone feels off to you, you don't need to say it, you don't need to explain it, you don't need anyone's validation, you don't need to explore it. That's enough. Like, that's enough. You don't have to explore more. You get an off vibe, you don't have to be fair to everyone. Be fair to yourself. If someone is worthy of your time and energy, and they're a safe person, if it's not evident immediately, it will be evident before you get too close, because you'll be able to suss it out. Oh my God, what a reading. Group 3, I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. So I'm really sorry that there's this gnat that's been flying around the room all day, and it flies in front of the camera, and it really pisses me off, because it's like, you got this whole room, and you got to get in my shot. Like, it's so annoying, and it's so small. Like, I can't capture it. I can't get, like, thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for letting the ads play in the background if you have them while you don't watch them and put them on mute, or thank you for sending me a tip or having YouTube Premium and just being able to watch me ad-free all the time with no ads or sponsors or anything like that. If you want to support me in other ways, like, comment, subscribe, you know how that goes. All the other stuff's linked down below. But I love you guys so much, and I'm so glad this person isn't in your life anymore. If they are for some reason, please run. But other than that, yeah, I love you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. I really hope this reading helped, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Rainbow Clear Quartz and Brit's Third Eye Tarot, this is going to be your reading on why the person you're asking about did what they did. Apologies if I sound a little off or am like, I was sick, and so this reading has been delayed by a week because I wasn't able to get to your group, but I'm here now and we're ready to go. So let's start by looking at who this person is and what they did. If this part does not resonate, this is not your reading. If it does, yeah, you get the idea. Okay, and also if it doesn't, you can try a different group and see if the energy check resonates with your situation. But to start, we have the Lovers in reverse. We have the Mouse. We have the Swan. You guys got 2 of these cards actually. And we have Journey. And what did they do? We have the 8 of Wands in reverse. We have Magical Shapeshifter. And we have Cosmic Exploration. Okay, yes, this is all in the frame. Okay. Oh, so there's 2 different situations that I'm seeing here. The common theme that I'm seeing for all of you is that this person left you. For some of you, this person not only left you, but they left the planet. And if this is a reading where that's just too much to look at, if that is the case for you, I totally understand. I will do my best to be like as sensitive as possible, and I do want to say like I'm so sorry for your loss if that is the case, but also I'm so sorry for your loss even if this person is, you know, still on this planet but just left to go elsewhere, because I can really see that there was something special between the two of you, no matter what kind of relationship you had. Like, oh, I want to cry. So if you are crying, please let yourself cry. It's okay. Like, I often think that like grief is evidence of the love that was there and that is there. And if we didn't grieve, it honestly probably wouldn't honor the value of what was there. It seems like whoever this person was, this is somebody who the bond that you had with them was a bit otherworldly. Like, spiritually speaking, it seems like you guys really had a thing going. I don't know why, but I'm seeing Tweedledee and Tweedledum from Alice in Wonderland. So I don't know if you guys had kind of like a goofy vibe, or it's kind of even reminding me of the Weasley twins. I don't remember their names from Harry Potter. Like I haven't watched that stuff in a long time or read that. I never finished reading the books, honestly. This is definitely someone who has a profound level of creativity, and I think that they inspired a lot of creativity in you, and I think that you also saw them in a very beautiful light. I think you saw them, they could have been a bit of a wordsmith. Maybe they are creative or did something with the voice. Like, I can definitely see there's a lot of creative power and creative potential within this person. But with the mouse here as well, I feel like this is less apparent to you. Maybe it would show in like things that they did, but there is definitely a fearful, nitpicky, nervous nature to this person that made life really hard or makes life really hard. This is why I want to be very clear here. I don't want to not talk about the, you know, if this is someone that has passed, I first of all want to be very respectful to them, but I also don't want to take away from those whose reading is about a person that is still here, but I don't want to take away from the fact that, like, for those of you that have lost someone and they're not here, like, I'm going to do my best to be as like balanced and clear and thorough and delicate as possible, but I apologize if I miss the mark, and if my wording isn't always perfect, but I will try my best because this does seem like it is a very important message. It definitely seems like this is someone who loves traveling or doesn't stay in one place for too long. You know, with journey here, they could be, they could have moved somewhere else. They could, or like quite literally, they could have left the planet. They could be like, they're definitely, whoever this is, they're somewhere else. And they made a choice that affected the bond that you have, because when we look at what did they do with the Eight of Wands in reverse, cosmic exploration, and the magical map shifter, it definitely seems like they chose to leave. Now, whether it was choosing to leave you or choosing to leave the planet, it definitely seems like this person's choice. We'll look into whys to see if there was any intention. Like, I feel like if like this was a relationship or a friendship or just a bond, and this person is still here, like, I do think that the choice to leave is probably more personal. However, if they were, if they, you know, needed to leave, or, you know, were in a place where just life was too much, I definitely feel like the like what they did is less about you and more about themselves, but it is also about you because you love them, you know, and I'm sure they loved you as well. They do still. What they did clearly was, I feel like they left quickly, and without saying goodbye or without like communicating. And it's like they went off to greater pastures. And the thing is no matter who they are and what your situation is, this deeply affected you. They're clearly a very impactful person on your life. And I feel like for a lot of you, that where this person is still here, and this was just they chose to leave a relationship or a friendship or leave a location that allowed the bond to thrive. I definitely think like they left you in a way that significantly impacted how you viewed your future and how you viewed what is possible. And for some of you, it does seem like they made this choice and it wasn't necessarily the most wise choice. Like if they chose to leave you, like it could have been something where they weren't seeing clearly or weren't thinking clearly. I mean, I know I'm kind of going into why, and we haven't pulled cards for that yet, but it definitely seems like this is somebody who left quite abruptly and who you had a bond with, who you know, at one point it seems like you guys were really connected and really close, and it seems like they made a choice that either broke the bond or made a choice that rejected the bond. And I definitely see here they have a lot of complexity to them, in the sense that there's this ethereal, otherworldly part of them, and their emotional complexity, their creative vision, and you know, the way that they express themselves, and the way that you guys would and the way that they would express themselves to you, it seems like it was quite impactful and also very enriching for your own creativity. But also there was definitely a side to them that was very fearful and like could get really stuck and get really bogged down, and you know, they definitely saw themselves a lot smaller than how you saw them. I definitely think that they even hid from themselves like a lot of like, I feel like there was a lot of avoidance of their own inner truths, no matter what they were, because I do feel like this bond is one where like there's truth in it. Like it's undeniable that whatever existed between the two of you, like whatever relationship you guys had, it was one that was like, it was mutual. There was mutual feeling. There was also mutual, like, you guys wanting to choose one another. Or maybe there was like the assumption there, or the promise, like maybe this person had said, like, especially if this is a relationship type situation or a friendship type situation that was like really serious, like, oh, like, come, let's go move somewhere, or like, let's move in together, or something like that. Like I could definitely see this person like wanting to build a future that then all of a sudden they're like, wait, I can't. Like it definitely seems like this person needed space. And I think that the reason that, well, we'll get into the whys, but it definitely seems like they're not in your life anymore. You may be able to see what they're up to, but for others of you, this person may not be in your life anymore, period. And if that is the case, I just want you to know, like, I'm so sorry for your loss and what you've gone through, and you have every right to feel however you feel about it. And I just hope that it's like, you guys are intelligent. I don't know why I overthink this so much, because it's like, you know, maybe one insensitive person, or like one person will just not be able to get on the trolley, and like that's okay. But like all of you guys are so intelligent, and you know how to like parse messages that are for you, and you know how to do that stuff. I'm sorry I am overly careful, but I do want to be, especially in a situation like this, because I think that there are a lot of things that I could say for one situation that I don't think would apply for the other, despite the fact that because let's talk about this. If this is somebody who is still here on this planet and who made a choice to just walk away from you, from a bond, whatever, I definitely think there's a restlessness in them, and also I think they have a hard time feeling satisfied even when things are good, because like the grass is always greener and they never take the time to admire their own lawn. It's like they're always searching for greener pastures, and they do chase the wind a little bit. But on the other hand, I do feel like for those of you where this person maybe left the planet, I do feel like in their case, you saw a lot more of the beauty in them than they did. And I don't really think it was obvious to anyone, like, how much they were struggling. Like, I think that, anyway, let's go into why. But I do want to say, like, with this magical shapeshifter card here, whoever this person is to you, like, they were meant to be in your life for a reason. And what that reason is, like, there may be multiple reasons. Like, they were definitely meant to be a person that you guys had an impact on. And you know what, I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier, but it is interesting how, like, the staircase, it's like, you know, when the card's upright, it's like it's like two people coming together, but like here it's like the two staircases diverge because it's going different directions. And it does almost feel like there was something unsustainable. And I don't even think this is necessarily about the bond, but about what this person was capable of, like, holding and being and doing as them in this lifetime, whether they're still here or not. Like, I do think that if this person is still here, I do think one of their big life journeys or one of their big life lessons is going to be a lot about the regret of blocking their blessings. But also, I do feel like this person has a hard time holding deep love. Not that they're incapable of it, but holding it in a way that makes it grounded on earth. Because there is kind of like I said, like a restlessness in them that they're looking for beauty that they can't see, despite the fact that if they just looked in the mirror or if they just read something they wrote. But, you know, it's hard. Like, it's hard to not see something that that we can't see, you know? Okay, so why did this person choose to leave? Why did they do... Okay, I'm being told to actually separate the two, and I think that would actually be better anyway. So I'm gonna do those that are still here on this planet, and then those that why, for those that you know, if they needed to check why yeah. So for group 3, why did this person choose to leave? Why did they leave group 3's life? Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Why did they... We have the Nine of Cups in reverse. We have the King of Wands in reverse. And we have the Magician upright. Okay, and what about those that needed to leave this planet? Why did they do that? We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Emperor. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the World. Okay, I feel like I shouldn't need to censor this, but I am going to anyway. I want to start with this interpretation first, because first of all, it is making me emotional, and if I forget to put timestamps for the different interpretations, you guys feel free to put them down there. But wow, I'm glad I pulled separate cards, because there's very differing energies here. This person did what they did because they wanted to have control over their life. And this person, like, they could see the blessings that they had. They knew those things. Like, the reason why they did it is not because, like, it couldn't have been anyone's fault. And, like, I'm really fascinated by this progression of the page to the King of Pentacles, because I really do feel like for a lot of you, it seems like maybe this person accomplished a lot, or they overcame a lot. And also too, they could have been like, I'm hearing specifically for some of you, they could have been trans, or, and I'm not saying for all of you that is the case, but like, I am seeing something here where like, this person remained true to themselves their whole life. And I don't think that it necessarily made things easier. They fought and they worked, and they worked their ass off, and they did ground into reality, you know, a lot of beauty. And I think like that's why it's probably so incomprehensible to you, because like they overcame so much, they grew so much. But there's also like, when it comes to our stories and what we overcome, like that doesn't mean that what we overcame negates the challenges that are still there. And I think a lot of times, like when it comes to these big, like lifelong things that we can struggle with, like that, like we can be at one place with it, and then it could change, you know. And I think that this person, their whole life, it was all about being strong and taking it on the chin and doing what they needed to do. And I'm really called to this Emperor card here, because, you know, one of the big important differences between the Emperor and the Empress is that the Emperor builds without an innate sense of connection to the world around it. And I think that this person really leaned on themselves and relied on themselves in ways that made it very hard to lean on others. There's a real, like, I can't trust anyone else to hold me. I don't even really want to hold myself, but I have to. And like, and that's the thing, is like there was so much love for themselves, but I think there was just so much hate for how hard it was to be themselves here and how hard they worked. And I think ultimately for them, there was I want to be in control, and I want to take control of this feeling of being trapped. And with the World card being here as well, like, I feel like, I think they were really tired, and I think that they were done. Like, they were done. I really feel like I'm hearing like the words like, don't cry for me. And I feel like it's because they don't want you to feel pain about it. But I feel like this person had the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they never really took the time to realize it wasn't their responsibility to have that on them, and I think they wanted to reconnect to what they felt so deeply disconnected from. And I feel like it's source energy, you know, divinity, the cosmos, the freedom of being beyond the self. You know, I feel like this person, no matter how much life they lived, it was still really hard. And like I feel like there's no excuse. Like I feel like if I were them coming through, you know, I feel like it's not even fair, because I feel like for those of you where this first interpretation, or I guess, you know, this interpretation of losing the person is there, some of them, like, I think do regret making the decision that they did, and others don't at all. They wanted control over how they left. They wanted to be connected to something greater than just their physical form and what they've built. And honestly, part of the decision, like, they may have waited to make this decision for a long time because they wanted to have more security or build something more, or they were like, I don't know. And I don't want to I don't know if me giving you the whys of this is helpful or useful in any way. And if it's not, please don't watch this. You know, part of me does feel like, is it even like okay for me to be talking about this? Because like but I am going to allow it because it did come through. But I understand, you know, if it's, they were ready to be done and they felt like it was their time and they wanted control over the choice, and they wanted, and honestly, I'm literally hearing I wanted to go out on a high note. Like, I think that this person may have placed a lot of their value in what they could accumulate or what they could build. And I don't think they saw the light in life. Now, that's not to say that they didn't see the light in others and that they didn't acknowledge that like light and life and like that light in life exists. I feel like they had trouble accessing it, and I feel like they also maybe didn't always feel like they earned it or deserved it. And I think for them, they felt like the physical dimension, the physical realm was just getting to be too much. And I think that they had lived enough life where things hadn't changed. And I don't think they, and I honestly, I do think that they had lost sight of, you know, life beyond the moment. But I do think there was probably some projection of it's only going to get worse into the future. Which really breaks my heart, and I'm sure it breaks your heart as well. But I do think there is a message here that like they are at peace with their choice. And they understand however you feel about it is valid. I definitely think there's hope for forgiveness, but understanding if there's none. And like a real message of like the love has not gone anywhere. Like, it really, like, honestly, it wasn't about, like, at the end of the day, like, none of these cards are really about, like, they're very self-focused except for the world. And I think that really the whys have to do with a very deeply personal journey for this person around control, authority, acceptance, belonging, empowerment, material acquisition, material loss, material worth mixed with human worth, institutions, civilization. Like there was a lot going on within this person. And I think that that's part of what made them so brilliant, but I think it's also part of what made them struggle. And point blank, they did it because they were done. They were done. They wanted control over their situation, and they felt that this planet they had nothing more. Like, it's not that this planet had nothing to offer them, it's that they felt they had nothing to offer this planet anymore. And I do feel like as well, there's like a lot of father energy here, where the male influences in their life could, like, there could have been something related to that as well. But what I definitely see here is somebody that loved very deeply, but didn't know how to receive it, didn't know if they were worthy of it, and felt like their only value was in building, sharing, giving. But the moment, like the push to do that, it wasn't like they were constantly giving from an empty cup, because it seems like a lot of what they were trying to fight, a lot of what drained them, was really deeply rooted either in their environment or maybe even within them, within their patterns. They had felt like maybe they couldn't stop it. But with this World card being here, it's like, I was like, they were tired. They were ready to put it down. And there was just not enough going in to sustain what they were putting out, if that makes sense. And I'm very, like, I just wish I could give you a huge hug, and I bet they wish they could too. And if you feel any warmth, or like if the sun like flows in, like sunlight flows into your window in a particularly special way, or you just see something that reminds you of them, like that is them hugging you. Like, they're holding you right now. Like, you can't see it, but this lady is holding the world in her hands. There's definitely a feeling of like, if this is your interpretation of the person being like, I did what I came here to do. I don't feel like I have value beyond that. I feel like I've had a good run. I want to have control over how I want the control to choose whether I stay here or not. And so I'm gonna pull quickly a message from them and guidance for you, and then I'm going to do the rest of the interpretation, because honestly, for some of you, it might even be possible that this description fits different individuals. So if you're here for both. But yeah, what would this person, what do they want their group threes to know? What would they say to group 3 if they could? This feels very cheeky. This feels very like, especially if this was a childhood friend of yours or someone that brought out your inner child, I feel like there's a real like, what are you doing worrying about me? Go have fun. Like, don't forget your spark. If there's an inside joke that you guys had, like, I feel like that's the message. But it's definitely very like, it's almost poking fun at you. Like you're spending all this time crying over me when you should be out having, like, I feel like they're like, go have fun, go live your life. And I think it's honestly, I even want to say to them, like, that's a bit dismissive, because like, you don't know, like clearly they did not know the impact that they had on the people around them. And even if they did, they don't get to choose, and they don't get to have control over how you live your life and how you grieve. But I would also say that they would say it's okay to be mad at them. Like, they will welcome you cursing the heavens at them. They would understand it. But more than anything, they want you to go have fun and live your life, and know that they're gonna be sending you jokes through the ether, and they're gonna be silly. And like, a lot of times you will know it's them because you can't help but laugh and cry at the same time, or just laugh. I do think they hope the crying ends at some point, because I will say this person, despite having deep emotional intelligence, I think their emotional availability was a bit questionable. I don't think they felt safe emotionally, and I think that's why, you know, they didn't really get to see a lot of their gifts, because they were the ones giving them, not receiving them. But I digress. What guidance do you have for my group 3s where this interpretation fits in general, Spirit? We have Judgment. So I do feel like Archangel Gabriel is significant. And I do feel like there is a message here that I think that you and this person maybe have had some lessons in common. And I feel like there's this message of, you're not done yet. This person did come into your life for a reason. And while the choice that they made is all their own, the impact that they had on you is not negotiable. Use the value of what you shared together to alchemize your own transformation. And know that it's not goodbye forever, it's see you later. Like, and truthfully, this is gonna make me cry, like, they're around you, and like, they love you, and they love you so much, and they want you to know that, like, for some of you, they want you to know that nothing could have changed, and that they would have chosen this no matter what. So please be at peace with their decision, and they accept if you can't. But for others, some of them do wish that they hadn't done it. Some of them do. I think you guys will know deep down where they stand. But know that it's not goodbye forever, it's see you later. And do not push away the value of what their presence taught you and the wisdom that you could gain from it because you're angry at them, because you're punishing them and you. And that's just, you know, it's not fair to yourself, and I don't think it does justice to what you shared together. But know that, like, you will get messages from them, and they are watching over you, and they do care about you, and they certainly cannot wait to explore the cosmos with you. They just needed to be free of what was holding them down and making life impossible for them. I'm not saying it's okay, I'm not saying it's right, I am just delivering the message. So if that interpretation is yours, I just want to say, like, I am so sorry for your loss, and I apologize if the way that I delivered this message, you know, was not helpful, or, you know, I would hope that if you're still here and listening to this part, that whatever came through is what you needed to hear, I hope. But yeah, I love you, and I'm sending you big hugs, and I know that this person loves you too. And like I said, they're around you all the time. You just gotta pay attention. I don't think I said that, but I said it now. So let's shift gears now and go to those of you where this person is still on the planet. I am gonna have to write write down. Because there's definitely, okay. So for those of you where this person is still on the planet, but they left the connection, this is definitely someone who struggles with grounding, you know, whereas in the other situation, there was so much groundedness, it was hard to feel free. This is like anything that is limiting to my like freedom of expression, anything that is limiting to my desires, anything that is limiting to my own sense of self, I don't feel comfortable with. I feel like the reason why they did what they did was because they maybe had more emotional volatility than you're aware of. Maybe you were aware of it. But I definitely feel like they took your feelings personally, in the sense that it was obvious like how much love and care you had for them. And they had that for you. Like, do not get me wrong for a second. Like, what I said earlier when I said like they had like for everybody here, like this was a special bond. I don't think they liked how deeply you saw into them, but also I don't think that they liked the feeling of potentially being responsible for someone else emotionally just by their actions. And with the Nine of Cups reversed and the King of Wands reversed, I do feel like this person is a bit of a restless control freak. With the Nine of Cups reversed especially, I feel like they don't know what they want. And I feel like they have ideas, like they really believe in themselves and believe in their ability to cultivate something. But truthfully, they don't stick around in situations long enough to see what they can build. It's like this person walks around planting seeds so that they never get to harvest, because they don't even tend to them long enough to assume that they'll bloom. I think this person has a powerful ability to connect, and they clearly have like a very, they're very emotional. They're very passionate. They're very like motivated, but like also they're very restless. And I think that for them, a lot of aspects of relationships like commitment and the monotony of day-to-day existence, I think is very distressing for them. And I think that they were also thinking about the fact that when they, like in choosing you, they're also choosing, this is their mind and their words, not mine. They're choosing limitation. And it's not that they're truly limited, it's that this person doesn't have a lot of tolerance for the rules of this planet. Or at least the earthly part of human nature, where, you know, things don't always feel transcendental and mystical, you know. And I think that this person is kind of constantly seeking creative and emotional highs that help, that make them feel transcended from their own humanity. And with the Magician here, I think that they're very imaginative. And it's like, and like I said earlier, where their vibe was like the grass is always greener, I think they did it because they didn't want to hurt you. Ironically, they hurt you anyway, but also I think that they didn't know what they had. And I think that there's a dissatisfaction within them that's always going to be there, because no matter what they have, they're always seeing how something could be better or different or more fantastical. And all it really does is leave them perpetually dissatisfied and wandering, constantly looking for something. It's like they want the depth without what depth means and requires. And I think that they also were kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I think there was they were a little bit disturbed by how connected the two of you were, like in more so like a psychic and spiritual sense. It might have felt like there's nowhere for them to hide, or there's nowhere, like, they don't have their privacy or their independence. But what I do see here is that this person is very controlling. And I think that the connection made them feel out of control. It didn't make them feel like they had the power to create what they wanted. And truthfully, where I would call that out is, I would say, and I call that out in your defense, is they didn't even give this situation long enough of a chance to really see if they could. Like, the reason why this person can't withstand any pressure or tension is because anytime they feel it, they run away from it instead of dealing with it. It's like someone saying, oh, well, I can't exercise because my muscles get sore. It's like, yeah, that's gonna happen, but you learn to get used to it. And sometimes it's a good sore, and like the good things that come from it, you know, like the benefits of it make the challenging parts worth it, right? Like that, like an example of that. But for them, I think that there's also a very hyper independent aspect of themselves, where I don't think they liked seeing so much of themselves reflected back, because I think that you naturally embody some of the ideals that they strive to achieve or become. Like, I think that you had an inherent creativity or passion that they felt they needed to seek or source inspiration from in order to, like, there's something that you did naturally that they felt like they had to work for, that I do think frustrated them, but that wasn't your fault. I do think in general, though, this person is getting high on emotional and spiritual sauce all the time. They like the beginnings of things, for sure. They like the thrill, and they like experiencing deep connection. I just don't think that they like the idea of this is it, or this is, like, I think for them, they're very distressed by the idea of endings, or very distressed by the idea of aging even. Like, I think that they're somebody who has really lived on this idea of, I thrive when I'm envisioning a future, when I'm striving towards something. They are constantly striving because they don't know how to just embody. They don't know how to sit with what they have. It's like they could have the greenest grass on the planet and they'd still go looking for grass that's even greener. I definitely think that they have a lot of emotional dysfunction that they process through self-destructive action. And I think they probably left abruptly because they knew that this situation, like, they didn't want to hurt you. And even though they hurt you anyway, I do feel like they only would have hurt more the longer they were involved, because I feel like they're just at a place where they're not willing to look at themselves honestly, and they're also not willing to experience or face the discomfort involved with actually sticking with your desires and the challenges of that. So I think for them, it's like, well, there's always a brighter future somewhere for them, and they're always chasing that, and because of that, they can't really be present. And unfortunately for you, you know, it doesn't take away like the connection that existed. But one thing I will say is that I think your own beauty and magic softened how you saw them. And I also think that it was only a matter of time before this restlessness became apparent, because I feel like this person, like, they can be very charming, but their actions don't always line up with their words. And I feel like, I don't know if you guys had enough time for you to really discover that, but you would have eventually. I do think this person, like, they and like, the thing is like, I don't think they want to hurt anyone. That's not their intention. That's not their goal. But they are very self-centered. And like, and truth be told, like, they can acknowledge the fact that you guys had a special bond. And rather than, like, wanting to grow with that, their focus is, well, I want to be able to do what I want to do. I want to be able to like, they didn't want to plant roots because they didn't want to stay stuck in one place. And because what if there's a better place? What if there's something more? Like, you wouldn't want to be with someone whose reservations for the connection are, I don't want to feel bad because me meeting my needs hurts you. I don't want to be in a situation where I can't literally do whatever I want whenever I want. I don't know if this is a relationship type person, truthfully. But I would also say I don't think they know what they want. And I definitely think that there is like this person has to keep journeying and keep going until they realize that wherever they go, they're just finding themselves. And I'm so sorry they passed on a good thing. But at the same time, I'm kind of not, because I'm glad that this person, like, I think that this person did do you a favor. They might have not done it in the best way. But they're definitely someone who's not interested in accountability. They're not interested in planting roots or growing. They're interested in transcendental experiences, euphoric, blissful experiences, experiences that bring them closer to like the cosmos. And they're not at a place in their life where they value this type of connection that you guys had, because truthfully, I don't think that they've had enough comparison yet. Like, I think that this person assumes that what they have with you, they could have with others too. But see, like, the thing is like, they don't necessarily want that with others. Like, they didn't leave you because they were interested in someone else. It's like more about the loss of possibility of what choosing you would mean for them. And so realistically, like, this person isn't growing or developing, or it like reminds me of, I don't know if I think it's Virginia Woolf, like, who wrote about like a fig tree or something. And the premise of it is like, there's so many options in front of me that I let them all die on the vine. But rather than letting them die on the vine, like, this person is just dreaming of a tree so fantastical that they don't stop their search to get there. And then they realize that, like, they had a whole orchard that they could have, you know, been blessed with, but they didn't, like, they either didn't want to or didn't have the capability to tend to what was theirs. This person's not really in reality. They're in a fantasy dream world where whatever heights of bliss they've experienced, whatever transcendence of their human nature they've accessed, they always assume there's more. And that's definitely not a healthy place to be in. And honestly, like, you deserve better than that. So let's just go ahead and see what guidance there is for you with this situation. So what guidance do you have for my group threes, where this person is still here but chose to leave? We have the Two of Wands, and what else? And we have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Six of Pentacles. Number one, I do feel like there is a bit of a warning here. Oh, 10 of Cups on the back of the deck. There is a bit of a warning here that this person, like, might come back around in your life. And they will probably come back around in times where you're not really thinking about them. You've kind of moved forward. They will rush in. They will be impulsive. But they might rush in as quickly as they rush out. And I do feel like there's this message here that what they did is not a reflection of the fact that they just weren't interested in you. It's a reflection of the fact that like they're not grounded enough or realistic enough or accepting of like the monotony of human nature. They don't accept that enough to be able to sustain something valuable and special, that to be able to sustain on the earth plane the valuable and special bond that's between the two of you. But with the Two of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, baby, your future's golden. And trust that you are going to receive in return all that you give. And there are people that want to do that. And there are people that you will have profound connection with. I feel like for you, though, this is your call too, to go out and adventure, to go out and explore. Because for you, you know what you had. And you honored it. You valued it. You believed in it. But it takes two to tango. And so for you, you can go out into the world and adventure and explore, and it's only going to add value to what you've already been cultivating because you know the worth of what's in front of you. And I feel like there's also a message here about raising your expectations of what you deserve to receive from another, because I do think that there is more there, and I think that there could be a better balance of give and take. But with this Two of Wands here especially, like the future is bright. Follow through on travel plans. That's a big message. Follow through on whatever plans you're making that light you up and excite you, because you deserve more of that. And actually too, for those of you where this is the interpretation, like I think that you will at some point understand the difference between a spiritual connection with someone and a spiritual connection with someone that can actually be grounded on earth. And the value, like, I think you will realize like what was missing in this situation, that you may not have realized when you are able to sustain this type of connection with someone who can be firmly planted in one place and who does think about you and does think about the connection. Like this person thinks about you, but like they also think about like they are addicted to the highs of life, and they don't want to deal with the lows. They don't want to deal with anything that could force them to stop the party or the transcendental meditation. And that's part of the problem. They didn't see building something with you as a party, and there are people that will. They're out there. But honestly, I think right now this is about reconnecting to yourself and realizing like you deserve ultimate fulfillment. And you also deserve someone who doesn't make you question if you were enough or if you did something wrong when you gave it your all and you had your whole heart in it. Like fulfillment for you matters, and this person couldn't have ultimately brought you the fulfillment you were looking for because they are deeply unfulfilled themselves, and there's a lot of chaos going on with them that I think the longer you would have been around them, it would have been more challenging and more painful to maintain the connection at all, because what their human self needs or at least they believe they need, maybe they do literally need it, isn't what would always be best for the connection and you. So I'm gonna finish this message off of, this was a reading, wasn't it? I'm gonna pull a message for all of you to just close out. I hope I did this reading to the best of my ability, but I apologize if I didn't. And I thank you for your grace. But I hope in some way this was helpful. But I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to ask, to the beings that love Group 3 unconditionally, what do you want to leave Group 3 with? What message do they need to hear at this time for their highest good? Okay, so we have the Falcon, commitment, instinct, boldness. I am totally committed and focused upon my goal. And so here's the thing, like, for all of you, there is a message here about taking the lessons this person taught you and taking the goodness that came from this situation and carrying it with you on your journey and committing to what you know matters and not putting your life on hold or holding back or taking decisions or taking actions out of spite or hope or, you know, whatever it is. Your life is yours and you deserve to have it. You are more skillful than you give yourself credit for, but you will only realize your abilities and develop them further by putting yourself to the test. Step up, act, and go for it with gusto. Believe that you can handle yourself in any situation that arises. Change your mind or your direction without hesitation based on what your intuition is telling you at any moment. You will achieve when you head straight for the goal. As an emblem of success, Falcon heralds victory. So commit yourself wholeheartedly and do not give up until you get where you want to go. And I think that's big here because I think where you want to go is a lot more grounded and a lot more meaningful than where, you know, this person is trying to go. And all love to them. You know, they may grow, they may evolve, and maybe one day they'll be ready to plant roots. But that's not your responsibility to hope or wait for or expect. And I'm not saying that you are, but the best thing you can do for yourself is choose you. Choose your life because this is the life that you have. And you're not getting any younger. And you're not going to have more time than you do now. I think if anything, this reading is saying, you know, honor the life you've been given, honor your journey, and honor the authority you have to choose where you go, and honor the challenges that force you to grow, because it's those challenges that truly make you who you are. And that, you know, reveal so much wisdom and magic when it comes to this human experience. And like, I feel like there's just so much pride around you for like who you are. Like, you are such a wonderful person, and life wants to give back more of that wonderfulness, but it can't until you stop holding back and start moving forward with more gusto. So Group 3, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. I feel like I need a nap. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else. Thank you for bearing with me as this was quite the message. I love you guys so much. Thank you always to support me or down below, but liking, commenting, subscribing, all that's really helpful. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this. I love you guys so much, and I know that there are many beings that love you guys too, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!